Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers is the 5th installment in the Halloween series, and this time around, Sam Loomis is trying to once again stop Michael Myers from killing his niece. And she is deaf, and he kills a bunch of teenagers, and there's this cult shit going on. This is where the franchise started getting dumb. This is where everything starts to go downhill. The franchise is taking a few steps too far. It is losing its mind. And it also starts to become boring. Because in my opinion, this is probably the most boring Halloween film out of any of the films. Like, it just feels like a standard Halloween film with none of the characterizations that are interesting for these characters. The typical slasher body count and the most uncreative kills. But it just goes through the motions of any Halloween film you could think of. Michael Myers comes back. He threatens the town of Haddonfield. There are body counts. Sam Loomis is yelling at everyone and trying to get them to help him kill Michael Myers. And then by the end, Michael Myers gets arrested and gets broken out by a guy in a top hat and is part of a cult. And he shoots a gun and they break out together to set up the next movie. What was that ending? I cannot think why they thought that this story was worth telling. It literally just felt like a movie to bridge the gap between Halloween 4 and The Curse of Michael Myers. And I don't think they even planned that at all, because apparently when they wrote the thorn tattoo on his wrist and the top hat guy, that was like bait for the next movie. But they had no idea what it meant when they were writing it. They just pulled something literally out of their ass and thought, what do we do with this shit? Let the writers for the next movie take care of it. Like, what kind of writer does that? Who writes something, doesn't know what to do, but just leaves it in the script? It is bewildering to me. And they focus too much on humor here. I felt like a lot of the jokes don't land for some of the side characters that are eventually going to get killed by Michael Myers. Their banter together don't work well. The girl Tina is so unbelievably annoying, and it sucks that she has to replace Rachel from the last film, who gets killed very early in the movie. And poor Danielle Harris, like, this little girl in this movie, she's giving a good performance, but what is this characterization? I feel like they could have done this character a lot better here, this little girl, and they just have her death throughout the entire film. And Sam Loomis is doing his usual shtick and is giving a good performance. And there is one scene between Michael Myers and the girl that is kind of touching, but feels so out of character for Michael Myers that it kind of feels unbelievable and just kind of ruins some aspects of what the lore of Michael Myers is. But all in all, I guess it's kind of a touching scene. I don't know what to say about this film. The film just looks dull. The lighting is really dull. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about this movie. Like, I know Halloween 4 is not the most visually best looking of the Halloween series, but had a lot more interesting stuff going on with the camera there than what this movie had throughout this entire runtime. And once again, the look of Michael Myers just looks awful. He has this big old neck that widens, and you can see the outlines, like the actual full mask. It's not like hidden behind his shirt collar, and it just looks too big. He looks like a big tough Dragon Ball guy, and Michael Myers looks way too buff, like he's a soccer player. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. He doesn't look scary. And anytime he's on screen, he just looks too ridiculous to me. I cannot take the horror in this film seriously. Especially when he's trying to kill a bunch of kids with his car and failing to do so. It just looks ridiculous. And the set design is really weird because the Michael Myers house looks nothing like the Myers house from the first two films. It looks like a completely different home. I don't know what movie they watched, but it definitely wasn't a Halloween film before they made this movie. I don't know, man. This movie was dull, it was boring, it was lifeless, it was rushed, it was sloppily edited, sloppily written. This is one of the worst films in the Halloween franchise. Is it one of the worst films I've ever seen? No. I still think there are some worse movies and worse horror movies out there, but this is definitely one of the dullest and most boring I've ever seen, and I do not plan to watch this movie ever again in my life. I'm going to give Halloween 5 a D. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.